19 years ago, Suzuki released their first real adventure bike to the public, the V-Strom 1000, which they called a two-way player, a sport adventure bike with great capabilities on and off-road. For 2020, the young, wise for his age and very capable V-Strom 1000 did some growing up, now being called the V-Strom 1050. The new V-Strom retains the 1037cc V-twin engine from the revised 2014 model, the same design that was first transplanted from the TL1000 sport bike back in 2002. On top of that, it's bridged the gap to its more experienced and flamboyant rivals, with its new styling and refinements that now make it more capable than ever. On test here we have the 2020 V-Strom 1050 XT Tour model, which comes ready to tour and adventure with its host of added extras, designed for those ready for serious long-distance touring and adventure and needing plenty of storage capacity. The from standard extras include wire spoke alley rims with tubeless tires, crash bars, hand guards, and aluminium side panniers and top box, bringing total storage capacity to a whopping 112 litres. Despite being the old engine, Suzuki have made it a lot more responsive across the rev range. Powerballed smoothly and quickly, a nice improvement from the previous model. There's a bit more urgency about the motor now, something that was missing before. The now Euro 5 compliant motor generates 106 HP, 7 up from before. Torque stays the same around 100 Newton meters, but linear delivery of power is more noticeable. The difference in power is all made possible by simple revisions within the motor. Higher compression pistons, new camshaft profiles and new electronic throttle bodies. All this makes for a much improved engine, one that we enjoyed out on the open road, in everyday start and stop traffic, and in the dirty stuff. The electronics are revamped and offer a vast improvement over the previous gen, although still retaining the same simplicity compared to its more sophisticated European competitors. The riding modes, traction control and ABS are all easily adjusted on the fly with a closed throttle, by two simple buttons on the left handlebar. C mode is the laziest and suited more to wet roads and loose gravel riding, while B is perfect for all riding situations. A lets you have all she's got, and that's pretty much where we kept it. There are also 3 levels of traction control, 1 more than before, 1 being the least intrusive and 3 the most. You can turn it off altogether, which I did more often than not as the power is very manageable without it. ABS is offered in 2 modes, but can't be turned off, which was my biggest gripe on the bike. Although the V-Strom is not advertised as a hardcore adventure bike, and many who buy it won't do the hardcore stuff, it's still an adventure bike that can do slightly aggressive, dirty stuff. So why not just let the rider turn off the ABS? Suspension travel is also not as much as the others, again showing off that Suzuki did not design this as a hardcore adventure bike. Although we did take it on some tricky trails and it got the job done. Not as well as the others, but it managed just fine. The KYB suspension is slightly revised and feels great on the road with more damping up front and a stiffer shock spring on the rear. It suffers a bit more on the dirt as I said, but one can do some adjustments using the spring preload adjustment knob below the left seat. The bike is very stable and responsive, and grip from the Bridgestone Pedelecs A41 tyres was great in all conditions. Even at a slightly pudgy wet weight of 247 kilos, the V-Strom 1050 XT felt easy to handle and responded well to all my commands. Nice features include heel hold control, slope dependent control, load dependent control and cruise control, which all helps to give you as the rider, well, more control. No heated grips was another small gripe, as was the not so friendly adjustable windscreen, which can only be adjusted using the lever situated at the front of the bike. So the rider has to stop, climb off and adjust, rather than like most others that are electronically controlled or can be done on the fly. The riding position is comfortable and very inviting. The seat height is a very accommodating 850 mils, so my short, round body didn't have much hassle getting on and off. Braking duties are by Takiko and have a good feel front and back. Fuel consumption was good. I managed an average of 6.8 litres per 100 Ks from the 20 litre tank. Overall, I was impressed by the new Suzuki Adventure Machine. Its simple yet effective mantra is very evident and lends itself to a wider range of adventure touring riders. It's very accommodating in all areas, and I love the blend of retro and modern day styling, with some influence from the 1988 DR750S Big, the pioneer of beak. It's not quite on the same level as some of its rivals, but it's close on 100,000 Rand cheaper, making it a proper value for money offering to a wider range of riders. Priced at only 221,950 Rand, customers get a competent two-way player capable of getting the adventure and touring job done. It's a bike with character, charm, and just enough tech to compete in the very demanding market.